Good morning. And welcome to Emerson Unitarian Universalist Congregation. We are so glad you're here. My name is Jeffrey Jacoby, and I serve on the worship team, the storybook troupe, and also the choir. I offer a special welcome to those of you joining us for the first time, either in person or online. We are grateful you are here and look forward to getting to know you. As a Unitarian Universalist congregation, we affirm the inherent worth and dignity of each and every person through anti-racism, anti-oppression, support for the LGBTQ+ community, working for reproductive justice, voting rights, and other issues, as the world calls us to side with love. We seek to build a beloved community not only here, but in our surrounding area. Everyone is invited to join us for social time following the service. Those here in person are invited to join us for light refreshments in our fellowship hall that is on the first floor behind the sanctuary, right out this door and down the hall. At 11:25, please join us for religious exploration and small group activities. There will be worship reflections here in the sanctuary. If you'd care to come and discuss the message for today a little bit further, we'll be in here. And also, additional offerings are listed in your order of service that you got as you came in. Each Sunday, we pause to light our chalice as a symbol of Unitarian Universalism and our commitment to be a beacon of love in the world. Our chalice lighting words are by Reverend Tara Humphreys. Whether you are from the South, the East, the North, or the West, whether you are born into this faith, found it, or it found you, whether you feel at home or are still trying to find your place, whether you believe in God, are open to mystery, or still have no idea. Whether you are unemployed, underemployed, cobbling things together, overworking, or in school. Whether you are holding anxiety, grief, confusion, anger, hope, restlessness, or deep peace. Unitarian Universalism has a place for you. It is right here. And this chalice is lit for you. And now, in the spirit of love and the beloved community, let's greet and welcome each other to this new day as we share our congregational affirmation, we need not think alike to love alike. In the spirit of love and the beloved community, let's greet and welcome each other to this new day. Those in the sanctuary, feel free to move around to offer greetings, and for those online, please use the chat to introduce yourself or unmute to say hello. Hello, everybody online.
Good morning. My name is Reverend Christina Branum Martin, and I'm the minister here at Emerson Unitarian Universalist Congregation. It is so good to be with you today. Today is a special day with a little bit of pink and flair. One of the things we're talking about today is the Barbie movie. It really does have a theological message, and we'll delve into that in a little bit. But I just want the people at home to know that there are feather boas and pink dresses and sweaters all around. There's even a photo booth drop in the outside foyer. The opening words for today are from Rachel Hayes. We come together this morning with hearts that are ready, hearts that are heavy, hearts that are broken, and hearts that are full. Our hearts are learning to be brave. Our hearts have never been brave longer than they can bear, and we come together because this thing we do, daring to bring our open hearts together. This matters. In this time, we practice presence, we practice tenderness, we practice compassion, and we come together to practice presence with one another, tenderness with those we meet, and with our own aching hearts. We have compassion for all the world. Spirit of life and love, we enter this moment together with open hearts. And may the compassion we share fill up and overfill this room and be part of the turning of the tide to more peace, to more justice, and to more love throughout the world. Amen. I was told today that the hymn that I chose, number 6 in the Gray Hymnal, is one that might be new to you. It's really lovely. It's called Just As Long As I Have Breath. Let's sing it together. We've come to the time of our service where we share our joys and our concerns and our sorrows. And for this morning's ritual, we have river stones. The river stones are smooth, and they have weight. They're indicative of life's both pleasures and times of ease, as well as life's burdens and times of heaviness. And the water receives these stones with calmness. Each week, you are invited to write what you are holding in your heart in the book that resides in the back of the sanctuary. And then for those who are online or perhaps during the week you want to share something with the pastoral care team, that can be emailed to us. We start today by placing 3 stones, and the first of which is in honor of the Cherokee and Muskogee nations, of the indigenous people who lived on this land before us. The second is for those wrongly enslaved here who labored on this land. And the third is for all those hurting in current conflicts across the globe. One concern we share today is from March Huey. She writes, "Please keep my husband Jim in your thoughts as he recovers from a flare-up of congestive heart failure. He is at Kenough Wellstar Hospital facing more possible health problems." Another concern is from Christy Ogle. "My brother Dean Ogle, who has multiple health issues, has entered hospice. Please hold our family in your hearts." And we do. I want to place a stone at this time for all of those seeking safety and security in the Middle East. Our hearts are breaking for the war that all are suffering through. To assume any clear answer feels foolish. To give up hope feels tempting. And to tremble in the midst of horror feels completely understandable. And to stop trying to birth love in the world feels unacceptable. May peace come to this land and for all who live there. I turn to two joys. One is from Sarah Allman. "My husband and I have celebrated our 15th wedding anniversary on October 11th, to many more." And Jeff Jones is celebrating his 25th anniversary of his ordination on October 18th. "I was ordained by the Unitarian Universalist congregation right here in Atlanta." Congratulations. And we add one final stone for those concerns that are held in our hearts, the things that we are just not ready to share yet. I invite you at this time to say out loud or type in the chat or whisper quietly the names of those you are holding. Let us finish with the Buddhist prayer of loving kindness, and these words are in your order of service. May we all be filled with loving kindness. May we all be free from harm and suffering. May we all be well in body, heart, and mind. May we all be at peace. Blessed be, and thank you.
One way we put our prayer of loving kindness into action is by partnering with other organizations who work to bring love, kindness, and justice into the world. We encourage our members and friends to support their work financially as we share our weekly collection and also by participating in direct action. Our Share the Basket partner for September is Must. Here is some information about the Must Ministries breakfast program called the Hope House. The Hope House provides warm meals through the Loaves and Fishes Community Kitchen. Operating 365 days a year, they serve 80,000 meals a year, most of which are prepared by civic, church, corporate, and family groups. Some of our own Emerson members participate in preparing breakfast each month, so join us. For those in the sanctuary, please offer a donation as you are able, or take one of the cards that describes ways to give electronically. Alternative ways to give are also posted in the chat and in the order of service. All donations, unless otherwise specified, are shared equally with Emerson and our partner organization. Please give as you are able.
Thank you, and know that your gifts are received with gratitude and serve this community, serve must, and serve the world. Thank you. I have a really great story, and I'd like to invite people to come forward and sit with me if you'd like, young and young at heart. Okay, now I've got everything I need. So I want to share with you that the book I got came in the mail, and it's really what you think is a little bit different about this story. I know you went first last time, so I'm gonna let someone else have a turn first, okay? Oh, yes, tell me what your thoughts are. So usually the dragon takes the princess and the prince saves her. Yeah, I recognize that pattern too. Any other thoughts? Okay, Garnet?
Same as that, but also the the princess is supposed to be dramatic and like, oh, save me. She's the one, and she is brave. She is very brave to go after a dragon, but she is even braver to stand up for himself and call the prince of them.
So, what I heard, see if I can remember all of that, was usually the princess is dramatic. Oh, save me, right? And yet in this story, she was dramatic and clever and smart. Is that what, did I hear you right? No? She was brave. Ah, that's a really good word. I'm going to be saying that word a lot later. Okay, before you have another turn, is there anyone else who wants to add anything? Yes.
Like second is usually the dragon would not like do the commands that the princess said. Usually they'll just like wrap her up and then do what they're planning to do instead of like follow someone else's commands.
So the dragon usually doesn't follow someone else's commands. It does what it wants to do. Yeah. So one of the things we're talking about today, after some of you go to your classes and we're going to be talking about the Barbie movie. And the Barbie movie is really interesting because it challenged a lot of views about what women are supposed to do, and men are supposed to do, and all of us are supposed to do by following the rules of society. And I want to point out that I've got a lot of Barbies right behind me. I even have something that you might recognize from the movie if you saw it. I've even got Weird Barbie up there.
Those are my Barbies.
Those are your Barbies.
I made my weird Barbie at camp. I wanted to cut her hair, but I cut her hair while I was holding it like this.
Yeah.
It was sticking up and I kept brushing it. Tried to dye her hair.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, I want to point out that there is something else here that is new and different, and I'm really excited about it. In this box, there is a new Barbie with the brand name of Create a World.
Oh, I have to.
Yeah. And one of the things that's really wonderful about this set is the Barbie is a person. It comes with clothes that people wear that fit anybody with whatever gender expression they have. And on top of that, the Barbie comes with short hair and also options for long hair. So the child can play with the doll with whatever expression it chooses. And it's not set in a binary world like some of these others are, boy, girl. And you know what's really funny? This Barbie is from the 70s, and it was from my childhood.
It's the original Ken.
One of the original Kens. Well, I thank you for your time today, and I appreciate you letting me tell you these awesome stories and show you my new doll, the Create a World doll. Thank you.
To serve you with God.
I'm taking a deep breath because my heart is heavy. I've been preparing for a fun Barbie sermon for weeks, and yet, at the same time, war has broken out in the Middle East, and my heart is heavy and scared for those who are seeking safety. I needed to share this time with you in prayer and meditation for all of those who are seeking shelter. Reverend Alice Anacheka Nasaman wrote this meditation titled On Hope and Love in a Time of Struggle. And if you would join me by taking a deep breath and finding stillness in your body. She writes, in a world so filled with brokenness and sorrow, it is easy to lose ourselves in never-ending grief and to be choked by our outrage, to be paralyzed by the enormity of suffering, and to feel our hearts squeezed tight with hopelessness. Indeed, this morning, let us simply breathe together as we hold our hearts open. Breathing in as our hearts fill with compassion. Breathing out as we pray for healing in our world and in our lives. Breathing in, opening ourselves to the transforming power of love. And breathing out as we pray for peace in our world and in our lives. Breathing in as we hold hope in our hearts. And breathing out as we pray for justice in our world and in our lives. May we know our strength. May we be filled with courage. And may our love flow from us into the world. Breathing in, we are the prayer. Breathing out, we are the healing. Breathing in, we are the love. And breathing out, we are the peace. May we know our strength. May we be filled with courage. And may our love flow out into the world. Amen, and blessed be, and may it ever be so.
Hello, my name is Mia. The following monologue is given by the amazing actress American Ferrera, who starred in the Barbie movie that came out this year. She says, "It is literally impossible to be a woman. You are so beautiful and so smart, and it kills me that you don't think you're good enough. Like, we have to always be extraordinary, but somehow we're always doing it wrong. You have to be thin, but not too thin. And you can never say you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy, but you also have to be thin. You have to have money, but you can't ask for money because that's crass. You have to be a boss, but you can't be mean. You have to lead, but you can't squash other people's ideas. You're supposed to love being a mother, but don't talk about your kids all the time. You have to be a career woman, but also always be looking out for other people. You have to answer for men's bad behavior, which is insane, but if you point that out, you're accused of complaining. You're supposed to stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that you tempt them too much or that you threaten other women because you're supposed to be part of the sisterhood. But always stand out and always be grateful. But never forget that the system is rigged. So find a way to acknowledge that, but also be grateful. You have to never get old. Never be rude, never show off, never be selfish, never fall down, never fail, never show fear, never get out of line. It's too hard. It's too contradictory, and no one gives you a medal or says thank you. And it turns out, in fact, that not only are you doing everything wrong, but also everything is your fault. I'm just so tired of watching myself and every other woman tie herself into knots so that people will like us. And if all of that is also true for a doll just representing a woman, then I don't even know. When I first heard this monologue in the theater, it felt as if a weight had been lifted from my heart. Her words had drawn the picture of what it is like to live as a woman in our society, a life I am living and often feel angry and scared and trapped by, but never had the words to describe before now. She made me feel seen and understood, and made me feel more connected to women everywhere. But this speech, and the Barbie movie as a whole, is not just for or about women, or not just about for women. The movie identifies, defines, and exemplifies how the patriarchy hurts all of us who live within it. Understanding the way that patriarchy influences our decisions, our feelings about ourselves, and our feelings about other people. Learning and acknowledging those influences is the first step to breaking free from their grasp.
Does the world say that you don't look the right way? Does the world say that you're just not enough? Does the world say that you're not in the right spot? When it wants you there but not here, and tells you all the things you're not. Well, I've been there too. It's hard to shut my ears to the noise. Yes, I've been there too. I don't stand a chance if it's me in this world all alone. Oh, the chatter is deafening, too overwhelming, hard to find my way home. So take my hand, been there too.
Thank you so much for that lovely and touching anthem. And thank you so much for playing the violin. It was lovely to hear that. This piece affirms the importance and power of friendship, that gift available to us as we walk alongside somebody buckling underneath the weight of expectation. The expectation to remind them that they are not alone, and to remind them that others do not get to define who they are. It takes bravery to define who you are for yourself. It is a wonderful parallel to the topic of today, the journey towards self-discovery and bravery found within the Barbie movie. Even if you haven't seen the movie, or may not ever choose to see the movie, I hope that by the end of this sermon, that perhaps you'll come to understand why I wanted to preach about it, and that you too will see the movie as a source of wisdom for Unitarian Universalists. The movie is fun. It is silly and full of pink and plastic and bright neon colors. It is even silly to the point of being saccharine. Viewers came to the movie covered in all shades of pink and glamour and even a feather boa like we are donning here today. Even my cynical husband enjoyed it and appreciated the number of issues that the movie addressed. So that says a lot. You may not know that Greta Gerwig, the co-writer and director of the Barbie movie, grew up as a Unitarian Universalist. In an interview by the UUA magazine, The World, she stated, "I was born into the UU community. My parents were married at the UU Society of Sacramento, and I had my naming ceremony in 1983. My parents ended up leaving the congregation for a time in the 1990s and have since returned. My mom likes to say that having a time of a walkabout is kind of Unitarian anyway. She continues, I think religion has always been something that has occupied me as a person. And Unitarianism is the most complete expression of my multiple and at times contradictory thoughts about spiritual life. I think the openness of the community allows for a greater variety of personal faith and ideas. It isn't oppressively open, but generously so. I love that line. I think I keep returning to a youth church again and again, she says, because it resonates with something deep inside of me that feels that I already know that I don't know. Unitarian Universalism is the best place for me to experience the fullness of that sentiment of not knowing. So I see her Unitarian Universalist lens as apparent in many, many places in the movie. She created the main character called stereotypical Barbie, and she is perfect. She is perfect and sculptured Barbie with bright pink and blonde hair and blue eyes, the way we always would think of what Barbie would look like as a doll. Throughout the movie, we see her hero's journey, or should we say Shiro's journey, of self-discovery and finding one's agency within the patriarchy and fixed gender roles. Do you need some more tissue, sweetie? We have a box up here. You good? You're good? Okay. The Shiro's journey that the Barbie is on is one of self-discovery, of finding one's agency within the patriarchy and fixed gender roles, and of meaning-making. Meaning-making is what our theological response is. Forrest Church, a late Unitarian Universalist minister, said that meaning-making is our religious response to understanding and accepting that we die. We get to see Barbie's journey of bravery, of coming into her own. And as a parent of 2 children, 2 daughters, I can relate to watching children around us in the process of becoming. And this, in and of itself, is an act of bravery, especially so within a system of patriarchy. And patriarchy is just the water in which we swim. The monologue showed earlier that we all can identify with the problems that exist for women today and all the challenges feminism experiences in a woman's daily life. But it goes beyond that. It's not just the woman's experience, it's all of our experiences of being told that we must confine to the definition of what society provides for us. Our work, not just as religious people or as Unitarian Universalists, but even in this community, is to allow all of us to be fully who we are in whatever ways we choose to express ourselves. And even in the movie, Barbie's sidekick, Ken, goes through his own discovery and self-actualization. Eventually, he learns that he's more than just Barbie's boyfriend. He dons a sweatshirt that says, "I am Kenough." And you know, I tried to order one for Bruce to wear today. But I was, it just wasn't going to get here in time, but you know what? It might show up later. The story unfolds as stereotypical Barbie begins to question about death, right in the middle of a dance number. And the next day she wakes up with unperfect hair, her shower is cold, her toast is burned in Barbie land in her perfect Barbie mansion. And then she finds a patch of cellulite on her thigh. And worse yet, her feet, the feet, the arched feet, fall flat. So, in Barbie Land, she goes off to see Weird Barbie. Weird Barbie is called Weird Barbie because she has been played with too much, too intensely by the kids. She has been given a kid haircut, marker on her face or on her legs or on her feet. She has wild clothes, and for some reason, she just does the splits all the time. So Weird Barbie explains to stereotypical Barbie that she has to find the girl who's been playing with her in the real world to restore her own joy. This journey for stereotypical Barbie sends her off into the real world, similar to the journey that Buddha had leaving the temple, to go see death and illness and poverty, to learn about emotions and the things that we experience in the real world. On this journey for Barbie, she meets teenagers who tell her that they don't even play with Barbies, and that Barbies uphold unrealistic standards for women, and they hate her, and it crushes her, and she questions her own purpose. Then Barbie meets an older woman at the bus stop. And part of her self-discovery is coming to terms with aging, because in Barbie Land, nobody ages, ever. Death does not occur. She has never seen anyone who is old before. And as she looks at this older woman, they lock eyes and they smile at each other. And Barbie says, "You are beautiful." And the older woman says, "Yes, I know." Barbie's growth throughout the movie is all about this process of aging and death and learning and processing and becoming, just like in the anthem, always becoming. She learns what it means to look and feel different, and the celebration of the older woman and her self-confidence, and then she comes to know the comfort within herself of understanding who she is. And this is the impact that the creator of the Barbie doll, Ruth Handler, would have wanted. Do you know that she created the doll the first time an adult doll was created for children to play with, rather than baby dolls, giving women at the time an opportunity, or girls at the time, to see themselves as something beyond just as a mother. She saw an idea for something like this in Germany and then came home to her husband, where she and her husband were part of a company called Mattel. So she and her husband decided to make Barbies. Within the first year, they sold over 180,000 Barbies. Clearly, there was a hunger for something else. Ruth Handler once said that my whole philosophy of Barbie was that through the doll, the little girl could be anything she wanted to be. Barbie always represented the fact that a woman has choices, and every little girl needs a doll through which to project herself into the dream of her future. And as with these Create-A-World dolls, they are dolls that are non-binary. They have fun clothes that are not stereotypically boy or girl styles. They have short and long hair that go interchangeably. And I think Ruth Handler would be proud of the legacy that she left. The Barbie movie is a playful examination of self-actualization and is theological, because Barbie sets out to see who she is, how she became brave, and how she will impact the world by being truly herself. These tasks, as reflected in the close of this sermon today, are by UU Minister Reverend Karen G. Johnston. She says that these tasks are at the heart of what UU spirituality and meaning-making is. And she invites you now to enter into the story. She says, rather than being collectively herded or individually stuffed into a pink box of dogma, your theology forced with twist ties like the hands of a Barbie or a Ken doll into the display box, Unitarian Universalism welcomes and celebrates spiritual seeking. In fact, it invites it. It maybe even requires it. It asks for you to engage in a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. And just to be clear, by free search, I mean that it is directed by your own conscience and a responsible search. And I mean that that all are accountable in this community. That both at the same time, because at odds more than that, we are in a dance of expressing ourselves truly and being accepted by that community. And sometimes, like the affirmation we say, we must not think alike to love alike. It is that agency, that place where we come together in community, that we make meaning of the things that happen in our lives. And Barbie, by choosing to be fully human, is no longer stereotypical Barbie, but as author Danine Akers notes, she becomes brave Barbie. And when you choose to be a person who makes meaning, rather than having it made for you, you too become brave. You are brave Claudia. You are brave Wynn, brave Ginger, brave Elissa and Garnet. It takes courage to live a life of meaning-making, whether or not it's learned by the hard truth about the world, about yourself, and you cannot unknow it, encountering your limits, your shadows, or your culpability, or perhaps the things that stretch you, that teach you, are the things that get added to your life. Things like the guardianship of a child suddenly, or a deceased friend or a sibling, or a job transfer you did not seek and cannot decline. Sometimes it's an opportunity as alluring that requires you to saying no to something you cherish. Sometimes it is loss. The things that change you come as a surprise. Sometimes it's a layoff or an eviction or a friend's betrayal or death. It is messy sometimes, bittersweet business, this being human. And it is also a brave business, but we choose it. So let us choose today, together here in this community, to leave that closed door behind us and open our souls to the realities of choice before us. Let us be a bold people that say yes to life. Let us be a part of the people who make meaning. Let us be the ones who do the imagining. Let us be brave. I invite you now to join with me and sing a beautiful song. It's in the Teal hymnal, number 1053. How could anyone ever tell you? And we'll sing it through twice.
How could anyone
As we extinguish our chalice this morning, we extinguish it, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world until we are together again. And we have one last announcement.
Hello, I'm George Clare. I currently serve as the president of Emerson's Board of Trustees. Sometimes it falls upon us to share a sadness so profound that it cuts to the quick of our souls. The sharing is never easy, it's thrust on us out of necessity. And this morning, I am terribly distressed to have to most regretfully inform you of the sudden passing of one of our beloved Emerson family, Mark Horn. Mark died peacefully in his sleep last Thursday night. He was staying at a hostel in Virginia while in the midst of pursuing his lifelong passion of beautifully embracing nature while hiking the Appalachian Trail. Mark's wife, Lynette Carlisle, was informed of his death on Friday morning, and I'm certain that Lynette would appreciate emails of sympathy and condolence. But she may not respond immediately as she is traveling to Virginia to see to Mark's final arrangements. Mark contributed very greatly to Emerson with not only his extraordinary musical talent, but by his proliferous participation in Emerson activities, including serving as vice president of the board. Personally, the most singularly important thing I could probably say about Mark is just simply this. Of the great multitude of people I have known in my long life, Mark Horn is the one individual who most closely embodied the principles of Unitarian Universalism. Mark Horn is deeply, deeply loved and will be greatly missed.
As our service comes to an end, go now in peace and take peace wherever you go.